On this special edition of Lexington Now, a new section of trail begins construction, social services adapts to the pandemic, and the Kentucky Theater. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of September 7th, 2020. Construction has begun on Lexington's newest addition to our expansive trail network. We were there for the announcement.
This morning we're connecting trails. We're building a new section of Citation Trail, and it will connect to trails in Masterson Hills Park and eventually to Masterson Station Park. We have been working on our trails for several decades, and now we're starting to connect trails and neighborhoods, and our citizens love our trails. As someone who enjoys a nice long walk, I can tell you it's really an exciting time to cycle or walk in Lexington. Our website lists 52 trails of all varieties. Some are short, some are long, some are walking only, shared use, paved, unpaved. In addition to this project, we have major trail construction projects that are ongoing. Downtown, we're working on Town Branch Commons Trail, the Legacy Trail, and Town Branch Trail. And ultimately, when these connect, we will have 22 miles of uninterrupted trails that start downtown and reach well out into the beautiful bluegrass. This new trail segment that we're talking about here today will begin at Citation Boulevard, pass through the Mabel Lane Greenway, and connect to Lucille Drive. One segment will also extend a short distance north to connect to Masterson Hills Park Trail, and eventually a future yet unfunded portion will provide a link to Masterson Station Park. Our trails are all pathways to better health. I encourage everyone, especially during this pandemic, to get outside and enjoy some good exercise.
It's a pleasure to be here today with Mayor Gorton, Commissioner Albright, Director Burton, and all of you as we break ground in another trail, not just for here in Lexington, but here in the 2nd District. Citation Trail is a means of uniting residents within the largest residential area in Lexington. Safe and accessible means of connectivity are a must for our city and our trails. Just like this, as they offer such opportunities. From bringing communities together to decreasing traffic is a pathway forward. Having a trail that will be safely connected to the city's largest park, to Citation Boulevard, interconnected with the Legacy Trail and downtown, will allow for more health, economic, and social opportunities for the area. I look forward to biking, running, and walking with my wife and my kids and seeing each and every one of you out there.
It's a shared use path, paved shared use path, 10 feet in width, that again will extend from Citation Boulevard, where there were existing paths built by KYTC, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, as part of the Citation Boulevard construction. That will connect to the existing sidewalks and bike lanes that exist along Citation. So that'll make a connection not just from Lucille to Citation, but also from Citation all the way over to Legacy Trail and again all the way into downtown. So again, connectivity is the key to these trail projects, not just building trails to nowhere. We're building trails that connect communities and areas. And we'll further that hopefully in the next fiscal year once we get to the next section. We're working with a private group that owns the Green Acres development. They'll be constructing a portion of that trail that will eventually connect this trail to Masterson Station. So again, then you will have a bike ped facility literally from downtown all the way out to Masterson Station, which is a huge asset. And as Councilmember Kern said, I look forward to, as an avid cyclist, riding this with my wife and my family as well.
You can learn more about our trails at lexingtonky.gov/trails. Social services, like many departments of the government, has had to make some changes to the way services are offered. Commissioner Chris Ford explains.
Well, one of the things we've had to change across the social services community, not just our department, but many of the agencies that we work with, is how we engage our clients. You know, generally it is a bring clients close, face-to-face engagement, but the health concerns and the social distancing guidance, which we take very seriously, is now requiring us to be to engage clients in a remote way. We're embracing technology even more while still trying to provide that same level of services. One of the things that we've always done in community and resident services is be a focal point for rent and utility assistance, particularly for low-income residents across our community. And we recognize that just a slight change in income or household circumstance can throw their budget off. So we've always provided that funds for rent and utility assistance. We're seeing a greater need of that, not just to low-income residents, but low to moderate-income working residents. And we're gearing up, working in partnership with many of our community partners to try to keep residents in their home. We are working on a program now which is called RISE, and that's an acronym, as we all have in government, Rental Hardship to Impacted Service Employees. And this is going to be a program geared towards the employees who, at no fault of their own, their place of employment, their business operation was forced to shut down back in the spring as a safety precaution to COVID. And if they were involuntary job loss or furloughed, it may have placed their housing stability in jeopardy. And so that's an example of us expanding upon services that we've long provided, but adapting to meet the needs that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought about. We provide support and assistance to families and neighborhoods and communities. We don't have enforcement powers, if you will, so our services are all about community engagement on a voluntary basis, and we try to fashion that by making the resources as accessible as possible. When you think of social services, there are services that we provide, but there's also services that we work in partnership with. And if there are services that we don't provide, we feel very capable and willing to help connect folks with where those services are in our community.
The Kentucky Theater after the break.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear your mask.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask so that the senior center can open soon.
Please wear a mask so I can celebrate my 80th birthday.
So that I can feel safe wherever I go in Lexington.
So we can attend our son's wedding.
To give me the ability to run errands and stay active and independent.
We can continue to get back to our normal routine.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. The Kentucky Theater has been one of the few theaters locally still offering service to patrons. Manager Fred Mills talks about what's changed.
The Kentucky Theater reopened on June the 1st with health and safety guidelines that were given down or passed along by Kentucky's governor. It's certainly different from the way it used to be. By that I mean folks are required as they enter the theater to wear a mask. As you can see, we have 6-foot distancing as well as requirements that folks be patient as they're waiting to be serviced at the concession stand. One thing that's different is that there are no new movies. We are showing all films from the libraries or archives of the various studios. Although this coming Friday, we're opening a new film that's called The Rental, and it's been the #1 box office for the last couple of weeks. It's a horror thriller by Dave Franco. Oh, I think that it's been if you want to say a throwback summer. We've been able to go back and play E.T., Jurassic Park, Stand By Me, Mamma Mia, some of the favorites that parents actually saw themselves, so they're bringing their kids. All of these films are popular concession films too, and drive-ins seem to be doing well this summer. And of course they don't have any problem with distancing there. It's been fun being able to show these various films, but I think everybody is ready for new films. And of course several films that we hope to play are Unhinged, the new Russell Crowe film about a person with road rage, Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan film that's gotten pushed back several different times. So we're anxious to, for these films to be released. Typically, we have a loyal patronage, but we show a little bit different type films, if you will, maybe sort of lean to the artier side. But since those films haven't been available, and we've been showing more, if you will, the older films, commercial films, yes, we've seen an uptick in new patronage that with both the Cinemark and Regal theaters being closed, waiting for new films, that these, if someone did want to come inside to an indoor, we are the only theater that's open. So we have picked up new customers, that folks that have never, just for one reason or the other, that's never had the opportunity to come to this theater. Well, I think that once that someone's been here and that they've seen these theaters, both our auditoriums are larger than most of the other theater auditoriums in town. So we already have the auditoriums marked off, and there's no problem with the distancing. Folks haven't had any problem with anyone wanting to not wear a mask, and they wear the masks as they enter and exit the theater. And we have, sanitizer that's stations available, and I think that people are very pleased once they've been here. If they are not completely, afraid to come out, and they're not just quite ready to do that. But once they've been here, we have folks that have repeatedly come back, actually week after week, because there's not a whole lot of things to do these days. And we can tell from our conversation with our patrons that they're just appreciative of having a place open that they can go. At present, we're running every evening, 7 days a week. We also run all day Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. All of our films at this time are $6.50 anytime.
September is the last opportunity to enjoy the Kentucky Theater before its temporary closure set to begin October 1st. You may have noticed scaffolding and workers surrounding the Government Center in recent weeks. It's all part of cost-saving measures at City Hall. Here's Kevin Gough.
EOP were hired to do a facility assessment of the envelope of the building, so that is all of the exterior walls and the roof. And our assessment was to just determine the levels of maintenance that were required for the building. And the results that you're seeing here is just sort of the first implementation of work that needed to be done sooner rather than later. So there were some, the balcony areas, the concrete's been exposed for a really long time, and the vestibule entrance is just getting worn and tired, and we needed some replacements and some repair of the masonry. This first portion was more sort of imminent needs, more acute needs. The overall idea of repairing the exterior will reduce the cost of maintenance over time, but that's not part of this project yet. We are repairing the vestibule masonry from the top down and adding a new airlock entrance. So, previously there was that small glass box with a glass ceiling. I think that was meant to be a temporary thing because there was a canopy over it before. We're fully replacing that storefront entry and fixing the floor and tying in the flooring with that new addition, repairing the masonry. And then on the back of the building, we're removing the old fire escape that's been decommissioned and is really causing more damage to the building by being there because of rust and those types of things. And it's a liability of people climbing on an old decommissioned fire escape, so that's being removed. And then the two balconies on the north and west are being repaired and possibly cut back. This is a repair of the existing conditions more than anything. So it's not, in preservation terms, we would call a full restoration going back to the original plan, but that is not what this is. This is a preservation action. So this is trying to preserve the building from further deterioration. Old buildings are always, being impacted by water, and this will mitigate that in the areas that we're working. The main entrance that everyone comes in and out of is going to be cleaned up. It's going to have repaired masonry and all new doors and glass and signage. It's about $500,000. So in terms of the overall scope of things, this is a small portion of what a building like this would need for ongoing maintenance. It's a great project. We love preserving historic buildings for a city because they're our face and they're our culture and part of our environment. So anything we can do to save these old buildings is always, in my mind, money well spent.
The project is expected to be completed later this fall. The majority of meetings at City Hall have moved to a virtual format, and we are bringing many of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the latest and most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. We're here to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.